enough.
And how about this as we look at the finish again? The U.S. has now been installed as the silver medalists as they had.
The men's 4x400m final in Tokyo will go down as one of the great championship showdowns, a race of balance versus brilliance, of relentless surges and narrow escapes. In the end, it was Botswana who stood tallest, clinching a historic gold medal in 2:57.76 seconds, just 7/100ths ahead of the United States, with South Africa matching the Americans' time to snatch bronze. It was a finish that left the packed stadium breathless. Botswana's quartet didn't rely on one superstar performance. Instead, they pieced together a masterpiece of consistency. A steady 45.16 opener set the tone, but it was the second leg, a smooth and powerful 44.05, that catapulted them into medal contention. From there, the baton passed through two more rock-solid efforts, capped by a 44.14 anchor that held off the surging Americans in the final strides. For a nation still building its sprinting legacy, this gold was more than just a medal, it was validation. The United States came into Tokyo as perennial favorites and looked every bit the part in the early going. A blistering 44.60 lead-off leg gave them control, and they carried that authority through the halfway mark. But their edge began to erode on the third leg, and though the anchor split of 44.40 was respectable, it wasn't enough. Botswana's final kick left the Americans chasing shadows, forced to settle for silver in a race they once commanded. No storyline was more electric than South Africa's. After slipping back on their second leg, the team looked adrift, until their third runner, Wade van Niekerk, unleashed a jaw-dropping 43.26 split, the fastest of the night. The move reignited their medal hopes and stunned the crowd. The anchor followed with another sub-44, driving them shoulder to shoulder with the Americans right Benjamin at the line. In the end, they were separated only by thousandths of a second, officially awarded bronze in the tightest of finishes. Belgium produced a steady 2:59.48 for fourth, strong but never quite in the medal mix. Qatar, Great Britain, and Jamaica all battled but couldn't keep pace with the ferocious front-runners, while the Netherlands and Portugal rounded out the field. The Tokyo final was a study in contrasts, Botswana's balance, USA's tradition, and South Africa's fireworks. Together, they delivered a relay that will be replayed for years to come, proof that the 4x400 meters is still the ultimate test of speed, stamina, and teamwork. For Botswana, it was history. For South Africa, it was pride. And for the United States, it was a reminder, even in a race of giants, nothing is guaranteed. What a race. Now it's your turn to share your opinion. Which leg was your favorite? And do you think the race lived up to the hype? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below.